Hello, Skeleton Key here, and it is Wednesday. It is Wednesday, so week 4 of Bookoplathon and Frightfall and Readers Imbibing Peril and whatever else I'm doing. But week 4 is well underway. I'm also doing Buzzwordathon. And so this is just this week, I think, right? Anyway, so I'm going with Night Film. And this is probably all I'm going to manage this week. And I don't even know if I'll finish this week because I've got so much I need to read for various things. This is also my signed copy. So yay. Yeah, I'm really liking this. This is it's weird and it's cool and it's stylish and just very, very strange. Yeah, really enjoying the heck out of this. And let's see. Oh, I got mail today. Okay, so on Facebook, I got this ad for this book, and it was from Easton Press. I think Easton, I want to say Easton. Anyway, one of those companies that does these leather-bound copies of classics, with the gilt edges. And I'm like, well, I really want that book, but I don't want to pay, I forget how much it was, like $100 and some, I think. It's like, I don't need leather-bound. I didn't want the fancy version. I'm like, well, surely I can get like a paperback or something. And there is a paperback, but I did find this really nice Taschen edition. So it's Alchemy and Mysticism by, who is it by? By Alexander Rube. I've never heard of him, and when I was in Prague last year, I toured this alchemist's lair, and so I got some really good ideas for some 5e, D&D 5e modules. And so I'm trying to put together some stuff with some alchemy, and so I thought, well, I really ought to know more about the history of alchemy and that sort of thing. So God, this is a chunker, but so I got that today. So that was a nice little impulse buy, I guess. And then the other thing I got in the mail today is an ARC from HarperCollins. So thank you, HarperCollins. My Life as a Villainess. And this is a book of essays by Laura Lippman. She's a mystery writer. I haven't read very many of her books. I think maybe only 2 or 3, but I really liked them. And I've met Laura on a few occasions at conventions and things like that. And I really like her as a person too. So when I saw this event, and I got this through a Goodreads giveaway. So, but HarperCollins, I got this from HarperCollins today. So looking forward to reading that. And I think it came out in May. Yeah, so this was just recently released in May. So I'll get to that soon. Put that on my list of ARCs. And so that's all I got today. But I am also for Bookoplathon. You saw me roll the other day, and Geek Love came up, and I have no choice. I have to read Geek Love before I can continue. Catherine Dunn, and this was for the Effed Up Book Club, and I was getting into it and just kind of got distracted, put it down. It was interesting. It's very strange, not my usual thing, but it is certainly effed up. It qualifies for effed up. So, leftover Thai curry noodles for breakfast. And today I'm going to be trying to get through Catherine House by Elizabeth Thomas. That is the pick this month for the Literally Dead book club. And I'm almost done with part one. I think there's 3 parts. I'm almost done with part one, and I have no idea what I think of this. It's just really weird. I'm getting sort of Robert Cormier vibes off of it. It's weird, which is not bad. I don't understand what's going on. And, after 100 or so pages, I would like to think I'd have a clue, but anyway, ooh, Thai noodles. Let's see. I'd say this is probably my new favorite Thai place in town. They're excellent. Their delivery is always the fastest on Nokonosh. I think they've got their own in-house people for delivery, and because their drivers never go through the app, so which is fine with me. They're fast. Everything's awesome. So, yay, free publicity. So, hey there. It is Sunday morning, Saturday. No, today's Saturday. So, it's Saturday morning of week 4. So, I'm finally getting some progress made on editing and uploading some videos for my Readathons. So, I'm going to upload September week 2 pretty quickly here. And I wonder how many of you will catch that I just totally spaced off a doubles roll on Bookoplathon. So yeah, if you think back and to my week 2 video, I rolled 2 2s to get 4 to move to the community shelf space, and I drew the community shelf card that told me to read a biography or memoir, and I read Unashamed. Well, that was supposed to be a double, and then you've watched my week 3 video by now, in which I decided that I would sort of, to make the doubles mean something, that I was going to try to combine the prompts into one book as an added challenge. So that means my next roll should have been incorporated into that prompt. So the biography memoir prompt. And that was also a doubles roll. And that was for the nature on the cover prompt. So I'm going to retcon here. Total retcon. So for my nature on the cover, the first book I went with for that was All the Broken People by Amy Rivers. I can kind of stretch that to have biographical elements, because trying not to be spoilery. Alright, so there is a subplot in that book about this woman named Juanita. And it's a cold case kind of thing. And anyway, I know that is based on a true story. It's when Amy was researching that book, she did come across the story of, I don't know if she changed Juanita's name to something else for the book, but anyway, it is very much based on a true story. So I'm gonna call that biographical in nature. So there, I've resolved my doubles issue, my missed double roll issue. Yeah. But today is the 26th of September, which means Catherine House. Wow, that's some hella glare. That means Catherine House needs to go back to the library. It's due today. they give you like a grace period. So if I don't actually get it back to the library till tomorrow, that's all right. But I need to finish this or DNF it. But where am I? I'm on page 139. I'm more than halfway through this thing, right? No, wait, no. It's how many pages? It's 310, so but I'm a good ways into this book. So I don't want to DNF it. I may yet DNF it. I don't know. It's a story about this. It's dark academia. It's about this girl who she gets accepted to this extremely exclusive but very, very strange post-secondary institution. It says it's accredited, and I've worked in post-secondary admin, and I don't know how the hell they got it accredited, but anyway. Yeah, because I worked for a community college as it was going through its reaccreditation process, which it has to do every now and then. Every so many years, institutions have to be reaccredited in various disciplines. And yeah, so I'm like, how the hell did this school get accredited in anything? I kind of wonder if it's a dig at Hogwarts and how absolutely ridiculous the curriculum is there. I don't know. Anyway, this girl, she gets accepted to this weird school in this old house. I think it's somewhere in like Pennsylvania or something. It's mentioned, but it didn't stick with me. And it's a 3-year program. So the school year is divided in thirds, and they go year round, and it's slightly prison-like in that they have to break ties with their former lives and family, friends. They're not even allowed to bring mementos, stuffed animals, nothing. And unlike Hogwarts, they can't even bring a snail as a pet, or goldfish or anything. So no owls, no Hedwig. But the book is divided in, so it's a 3-year program, and the book is divided by years. So there's year 1, and then I'm almost to the end of year 2, which is actually a pretty short section compared to years 1 and 3, apparently. I'm almost to the end of year 2 in the book, and I still have just bare glimmers of what's going on, and I don't like Inez. It's first person from the point of this girl Inez, and I can't get a handle on her. I can't read her at all, and maybe that's the point, but it's really frustrating. And just the whole atmosphere of this place is just, it's very atmospheric. I don't know if I'd call it gothic, but it's very atmospheric. And I don't know. I'm not disliking it exactly, but I'm finding it very frustrating and very, just get on with it already. I will probably finish it. Probably. I think I forgot to mention the other day when I finished an autographed mystery that I was going to use this for the Detectathon that Molly at Mind of Molly ran, and I'm It's like I decided, okay, I'm going to continue on even though it's officially over. I wanted to finish up at least the little treasure hunt one. The clue for that one was to read a book with the cover the same color as the title of the previous book. And the previous book was Save the Cat, and the title was in sort of this goldish bronze color. And this isn't a solid color, obviously, but that goldish bronze is, figures heavily in this. And I looked all through my books, and this was the closest I could find. And I didn't want to go buy a new book, and I can't exactly browse the shelves of the library. So this is as good as it gets for that. And then the next clue, it said the last book was a false clue. Read something opposite, as opposite as you can get to that. So I figured, okay, so this takes place in this mansion that has been converted into a literary resort. This book features a family reunion. Well, okay, Catherine House is also in a big mansion, so that's not opposite. But this mansion has been converted to a school, and rather than a family reunion, oh look, it matches my hair. That's kind of cool. Anyway, sorry. But opposite of a family reunion, the students who attend Catherine House are not permitted any contact with their families. They basically give up their lives, their past lives, to attend Catherine. So I figured that was pretty opposite. And now the final clue was I had to flip through and just on a random page find a random word that's not like the or and or of, and then pick a book that has that word in the title. And no surprise, considering how much art figures into the story of Catherine House, the word that I landed on was art. So I've got this. I'm probably going to read it next month, but I've got this on my TBR, The Art of the Con. And that is by Anthony M. Amore. And this is the most notorious fakes, frauds, and forgeries in the art world. So that will fit a few prompts that I'm working on. So now, back to Catherine House. I did finish this last night. Last night? Yeah, wee hours of the morning. I finished Catherine House. I don't know what I think of this book. I did some reading, and I don't know how to pronounce her name. It's either I've been saying Elizabeth, but I don't know. The spelling suggests that she might pronounce it Elizabeth. I don't know. I've never heard an interview with her. I did read a few interviews with her, and I can appreciate what she was trying to do with this book. And I can understand what she was going for and why some people absolutely love it. I definitely understand why a lot of people absolutely hate it. I do not absolutely hate it. There was a lot of interesting stuff in here. I liked the writing style. And Thomas has said that she plans to do something pretty different from this for her next book. And I will probably read it because I liked a lot of what she did. but there was a lot that she did in this book that I just really didn't like. And I'm gonna have to think on it to try to figure out what exactly that is and why that is. Uh, this is a weird book. It's very weird. But I will tell you, it is not a haunted house story. I know some people have commented, without really knowing much about it, that they might use it as, for a haunted house thing for a whatever prompt. And it's not that. So I'm sorry if that's what you were planning on doing for whatever reason. It won't work for that. It's unless you go like really into I mean, the word haunted is used a lot, but it's not a haunted house story. It's a very haunting tale, let's just put it that way. But it's not a haunted house story. Yeah, I really don't know what to say about it. I'm glad I didn't get this as an arc, and because then I would have had to just come up with a review, and I don't. It's gonna be a while before I can review this because I don't understand my own reactions to it very well. In other reading news, I listened to The Case of the Missing Marquess by Nancy Springer. I started that last night and finished it up this morning. It's just a real short thing. It's a YA book. Not, I wouldn't say middle grades. I'd say, well, younger end of YA. And well, the reason I read it, the reason it registered on my radar is the Netflix movie that's out now about Enola Holmes, Sherlock and Mycroft's baby sister. I wanted to watch that, and I still plan to watch it, but I didn't even realize until it popped up on Audible that it was based on a book. It's actually a series of books, the Enola Holmes mystery series, and they're kids books, but I thought, fine, I'll listen to this, and it's, from what I understand, it's pretty much the basis for this movie, this first book in the series, and it was a lot of fun. Some problematic language, but it was not used maliciously. So I think it was just one of those things where, I mean, it's the word gypsy, which I probably shouldn't even say it because my understanding is that it's on the same level as the N word. So please forgive me for actually saying it, but the thing is, I don't think enough people in general realize that it is a slur. And I think probably here, the author and editors also didn't realize it. And of course, this is set in Victorian England where, it was a slur, but it was also just a normal word. And as a writer, I think I probably would have found a way to, especially with the Enola Holmes character, I think it would have been pretty easy to find a way to avoid using it. So yeah, I have mixed feelings about that. And I mean, it's a kid's mystery, so it's not great literature. It's not a really thought-provoking mystery, but it's fun. This was a fun little adventure, and I liked Enola. Um, and so I'm looking forward to watching the movie. But I do want to add that one reason that I'm kind of pissed off about the movie is not it's not the not like other girls trope, because I have thoughts and feelings on that, and I'll probably talk about it a little bit more after I watch the movie. But no, the thing, just from the previews, I could tell they made Mycroft skinny. This pisses me off. Mycroft is fat. Let Mycroft be fat. What's wrong with a fat Mycroft? I mean, really? You can't let Mycroft be fat? Eh. This is probably the end of my tomato crop. I've got a few little green tomatoes on there, but it's getting cold, so this is probably it. And I've been watching a lot of pasta grammar videos lately. So I'm gonna try to, yeah, there's not much here, but I'm gonna try to do that tomato sauce that Ava made. So I got the spaghetti cooking, and well, that looks just kind of pathetic. So next year, hopefully, I'll have more tomatoes to work with. Yeah, that is not nearly enough sauce for that pasta, but I'm sure it will taste good. I added some cheese to mine. Of course, I cooked it in some of the pasta water. I'm gonna chow down and get back to night film. It is pierogi time. No, I do not make my own pierogies. These are Mrs. T's pierogies. Onion, and I'm eating them with some Bulgarian yogurt and some tomatillo salsa. I've never tried that before, so this should be interesting if nothing else. So this is Monday morning, and yesterday was the last day of the Buzzwordathon. The buzzword was night. I read Night Film. I did not read all of it. In fact, I did not get very far. I made it to like page 64. I'm still reading it. I do want to finish this one this time. I'm really enjoying it. As some of my friends have pointed out, the main character, it's a first person POV. He is kind of a jackass. I think he is very purposefully written that way, so I'm interested to see if I can figure out why she chose to do that way. But it's fascinating. I'm really getting into it. So I will continue reading on that even though Buzzwordathon is over. And so this week is, yesterday started Banned Books Week. And so last night I started on 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James. Oh my god, this... I'll try it a little bit more today, but no, I don't think this is gonna work for me. Right now it's just boring, but the writing's really amateurish, and I don't even like good erotica, so I'm like, I don't know. But I do have backups in place for Banned Books Week. So, wrapping up week 4 of my fall readathons. Yeah, today I read some more on 50 Shades of Grey. I think I made it to like page 50. I don't know. Tomorrow I'll decide what I'm going to do for Banned Books Week, if I'm going to continue with 50 Shades of Grey, or if I'm going to switch over to one of my backups. So for backups, I've got I've actually borrowed a copy of The Outsiders from a friend, and so if I read that, then I can get that back to her. I'm not expecting to really get anything out of that. It even when I was a teenager, it didn't really sound like my kind of thing, but who knows? Maybe it'll surprise me. The Bell Jar, I have a copy of that somewhere. So that's a possibility if I can find that. It's not exactly a pick me up or anything, but yeah, I should read that. And then I know I have it. It's just a matter of whether I can lay my hands on it, but somewhere I've got a copy of Lord of the Flies. I actually started that at one point, but for whatever reason, I had to put it down. So, I don't know. It was fine. It was interesting, at least as far as I'd gotten, but if I can find that, and that one's pretty short, if I recall correctly. Whereas, yeah, the 50 Shades of Grey, apparently it had never actually registered how long that book is. So this edition's like 500 and some pages. That's ridiculous. That is freaking ridiculous. So yeah, I'll decide tomorrow what I'm gonna do. I don't know. But other than that, I've been having a really good reading month, I think. Even the stuff that I haven't really cared that much for has been interesting in some way. Oh, I watched Enola Holmes last night. And this is one where the movie is far superior to the book. I mean, the book was a fun little adventure, but the movie has so much more depth and complexity. And, I would quibble that, it introduced a subplot with the mother, and this feminist secret society kind of subplot, which was really cool. And then it didn't really resolve it, but I think it's pretty clear they're leaving that open for sequels, and so that's going to be a longer arc. Because they did bring, well, okay, no spoilers. But anyway, I think that's going to be a longer arc throughout the sequels, because I'm sure there will be sequels. I mean, the response clearly has been extremely positive to the movie. And my issues with the G word, yeah, that whole subject was just not even brought into the movie. And yeah, they just went a completely different direction, which I was really pleased with how they did that. I'm still pissed off that Mycroft is skinny. Watching this movie though, Mycroft's character felt off to me, but it occurs to me that I don't really remember much about Mycroft other than in the stories he was actually considered smarter. He was more of a genius even than Sherlock. And his personality was so different, and his employment, he worked for the government, and that's really all I remember about him. So in the movie, he's an ass. He's just a total ass, and I'm trying to remember how much of an ass he was in the stories. I haven't read all of the stories, and I don't know. And Mycroft doesn't appear in a whole lot of the stories. So there's not really a whole lot to go on there, but I think it's interesting how they the author of the book and to an even greater extent the author of the screenwriter for this, I noticed who it was and now I've forgotten who the screenwriter was. Thorne? I think the last name was Thorne. I should look that up. But I was delighted. And I think the casting overall, I think the casting was really well done. And there was another potentially problematic thing, and I don't want to say what it was because it's, if you read the books, it's a spoiler in the book. But there was a thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way in the book, and they completely changed it up in the movie. So, yeah, I'm quite pleased, despite skinny Mycroft. That's pretty much it for now. It's almost week 5 of my fall readathons, so I should sign off, wrap everything up, say goodnight, and definitely leave me some comments if you've read any of these and have comments. I want to know your thoughts on Enola Holmes and Night Film and Catherine House and, yeah, sure, 50 Shades of Grey too. Yeah, so please like and subscribe and see you around.